It's almost five generations back in early 1800s where my great grandfather, being in Malnad region, had to get into coffee as their livelihood.
From a small village called as Indavara. We grew with our grandfather traveling around the estate, cultivation, how he used to manage the labors.
As the family grew, the plantations got fragmented and became smaller. But then me and my brother, with God's blessing, have been able to make this a larger plantation of about 1,000 acres now.
I think the fact that we're five generations and the four generations before us have done such an amazing job and literally put Kalle Devrapura and Harley coffee on the map.
In the late 90s, we were not even tasting our own coffee. What we grew used to be pooled in the Coffee Board of India, and Coffee Board pooled it along with all other coffees and sold them to the market. But then, once we started tasting our own coffee, when we started telling the world that we have such a high quality coffee, we started focusing on selling our specialty coffee. We have no other choice other than growing coffee, paddy, cardamom, and pepper in this region. And coffee was one which Britishers created a market for coffee in the international market. That's the reason our coffee journey started for our family.
I was with my grandfather, walk around and what's the method of cultivation he used to do, and each and every plant, how he used to observe and handle the, particularly managing the coffee plants, trimming the coffee plant and all. From the childhood itself, we have learnt the method of coffee cultivation.
My grandfather, who was a financier for coffee plantation, since there was not much of a banking system then, used to fund many of the coffee plantations. So I used to travel with my dad and my grandfather, visiting different coffee plantations and learning about coffee growing. Because each of the coffee plantation, each of the region has different way to grow coffee. The plants are different and their cultivation practices vary. To show train body. As always said, the might is when people join together and grow. In fact, my personal journey is me and my brother D.M. Shankar grew up together, we live together. In fact, the extension or growth of our coffee has been because there has been a great coordination between two of us.
I started my career very early because I lost my father very early. It's a very tough time when I jumped into estate, understanding the things and managing the labors.
Our dad and uncle are huge visionaries, and I think so for us to keep up with that pace and think where they are thinking takes a lot of vision from our end as well. You know, a lot of us studying, researching, learning from them, a lot of exposure that we need to gain to be able to like reach a point where they are already thinking about.
So earlier the total estate was with the old Kent's variety. I totally changed that coffee plants to new 7 and 5, and the shade pattern also I developed with silver oak and other good variety of shade and all those things. So like that way I had developed the estate.
Coffee blossoms on the estate are just magical. It's all the mountains that are around here that are just white at the same time. And the beautiful part is, the amazing part rather, is just that it lasts you just for 2 or 3 days. And that's all you can see it for. The entire air is perfumed. It's just got a beautiful scent around it. You can see the bees at work and all of that. It's just completely heavenly to be here around that time.
Speciality of our coffee is not just about growing coffee in different regions of Karnataka, where one of our plantation is located in Bababudan Hills, where we grow high quality Arabica coffee. In Manjarabad region, where we have our Harley estate, which grows Robusta as well as Arabica coffee, along with Aracanut, pepper, cardamom and vanilla, also cocoa. It is not just about growing coffee in India, but it's also about wet processing and dry processing of our coffee. We take special care to hand pick our coffees at different stages of ripening of coffee in the plant by picking them up, choosing the best berries for wet processing. Each batch of our coffee is also being tested in our lab by specialist coffee cupping experts whom we have in-house.
Some of it, chocolatey that is remaining on all.
Yes, chocolate is there, but the aromas are getting milder as you go by, right? They are able to decide on the taste profile, create a profile from the field to the final cup stage where the identification of the coffee happens, which has helped us to create a great market for us. Our classic coffee journey started in mid 1990s after liberalization of coffee. Trading was done by Coffee Board of India. As we started traveling internationally, we realized that specialty coffee is the future for survival in coffee market because of the fluctuation in the international market prices, where my brother started producing the best quality and processing them in our own plantation, and then moved on to selling them internationally, which I took the responsibility of bringing in coffee roasters, bringing in coffee traders, and build relationship with them, which for future has really going to help us to make this a larger coffee company.
We started understanding quality parameters of the coffee, the coffee processing, how the coffee should be pulped, and what's the bean maturity, from the bean maturity, how to pluck the bean, how many hours we have to ferment. Like this way we have understood the process. Then we understood that we have to dry the coffee on a tray, and we have developed that one. And after that one, we drying on the drying yard. Like that way, we learned the process of production of clean coffee.
As we were exporting coffee, we also realized that there is a lot of potential in Indian domestic market. So that's where the classic coffee retail journey has started for us, which is now the next generation, the fifth generation. Our children have taken over to take this to the next level.
Since both of us have been working together, we have so many youngsters who have traveled the world, who have gone on education, who go on tourism, and they're getting so exposed to specialty coffee today that is good, gourmet, well-produced coffee. So it was exciting for us as already specialty coffee growers to bring Indian specialty coffee to the young consumers.
Running coffee plantation in India is very much different from large coffee growing regions like Brazil, because they use 98% of mechanization, including growing cultivation practices plus harvesting. In India, it is completely different. The reason is our terrains are very different. We grow our coffee under shade. Since the shade is grown, the multiple number of trees are many where machineries cannot move on. We have manual labor being used. Our plantations like Harley Estate has on an average of 250 to 300 labor working every day. What we do in our plantation is to take care of these labor because they are very precious for us.
Labor's 100% provided with the labor quarters, with the water, children education, so then health management provision is there.
Without this wonderful community who are being with part of our family, in fact, 3 to 4 generations have been working in our coffee plantation. And without them, maybe we would not have been able to maintain this quality, grow these wonderful plants, and produce to the wonderful coffee to the world market. So thanks to our people working for us, we are able to really achieve what we achieved in classic coffee these days.